Yo, what's good, man? It's your man, K Camp, back at it again with another podcast, man. And as you can see, the title, The Importance of Having Vision for Athletes, man. And not only for athletes, just for people in general, man. Just going to be talking about, having dreams, goals, and expectations, man. And one thing that is not emphasized enough, man, is having vision. My name is Caleb Campbell. I run track and field at UTSA, and I'm currently a senior at UTSA. And yeah, man. With that, let's hop into it. Hey, vision. What do you see yourself accomplishing in the next 5 years, 10 years, even the next day? Those of you who play football, you understand that football is a game of inches. Every play matters, literally. I mean, some plays can cost you the game and some plays can win you the game. How does this tie into vision? It's sort of like playing chess. Sometimes things might not go the way you planned it to go. Sometimes you might have a plan for tomorrow. You wake up and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to jog a mile. But then you might end up jogging, 3/4 of a mile. Or sometimes you may end up jogging 2 miles. Why is that? Because you had vision, you had focus, and you had expectations. And one thing about vision is that you cannot let anybody, not even family members or friends or associates or even coaches for that matter, you can't let anybody deter you away from your vision. Your vision has to be, precise, if that makes sense. Meaning, are you achieving something that's positive? I mean, are you striving to be successful? And one thing that's helped me out to even get to the Division I level and hopefully go to the professional level is having vision. Because sometimes we can get so sidetracked with our thoughts. We can get so sidetracked with what people have to say about us and everything negative that they have to say about us, or the things that we're flawed at. Do not focus on those things. Focus on what you're good at first, and you slowly work and you build up from your mistakes. That's how you improve. And I remember in 2016, I placed I think 11th at nationals in the semifinals for I think the AAU Junior Olympics. And, I was coming in top 10. I was top 8, actually. And I wanted a medal. So my expectation was, to make the finals, break my PR at 10:44 or 10:03, and get, a medal at the Junior Olympics individually. I already obtained one on the relay, but it's harder competing in the opens than it is on a relay. And so I remember crying that day, and my father, he actually asked me, why are you crying? You made it to the semifinals, and you were ranked, and in my mind, in my vision, I wasn't planning on going out like that. That was my junior year. I had a pretty good year that year. I was getting recruited from a lot of schools, like I said on my last podcast. So, again, all about vision and expectations. And after I was crying, it took a while to get over it, but looking back on it, I could still say I competed with the best, because I've always wanted to be on TV, man, be on ESPN. I've always wanted to be a role model, a positive role model for not just athletes, man, but just genuine people, man. That fulfills me, man, and it gives me great joy. Vision also fulfills you in life, man. You have to live your life with fulfillment, and that's one thing that's not taught, especially in this generation coming up, Gen Z. Vision helps you get through stress, anxiety. Brothers and sisters have PTSD, and these are things that, athletes, they don't usually tell the public about, but it's very real, man. It's very real. And one thing about having vision is that when you're getting your letters, you're getting your scholarships, you're going on recruiting visits, man. Those of you who've been to that level, those of you who've been around some of the biggest names that we can think of, man. Previous Olympians, previous Hall of Fame NFL players, even players that made it to the NFL. You know, when you're around these type of athletes, man, the caliber that you set for yourself is raised very high. And you know, I remember competing against a guy named Kerry Vincent. Now, he played for LSU. He was on the team with Joe Burrow. They actually won a national championship in 2019, I believe. And like I said, he actually won state in 200-meter dash, went like 20.7. But I remember lining up against him in high school in the year I was hurt, one of my worst years. And I knew that cats like that were going to go far, man. And competing against some of the best in the state, not only the state, but the nation, you know, it set my vision to be like, hey, it's a reason that, you know, you're competing against the cream of the crop. You see what I'm saying? And without vision, I would have never even gotten where I'm at. Vision, even through your worst of times, it'll keep you afloat. It'll always keep you afloat. And one thing you do not want to do, don't focus so much on what you can't do. Don't focus, man, as hard as it is to go through it, man, and as hard as messed up as people can be, as coaches can be, as politics, as messed up as all of these things can be, man, do not lose your vision, because I've seen so many stories where people come out on top at the end. They always come out on top. The ones who, you know, cheated their way to success, 99.9% of the time do not win in the end. Even though it may seem that they're getting ahead, one thing I have to tell myself, and I tell others, even if they're accomplishing more than you, the reason that you might be holding yourself back is because you're losing focus on your swag, your sauce, man. And that's one thing I had to realize. Once I realized what worked for me, and once I realized, you know, just be myself and be who I used to be, but 2.0 version, meaning I'm on a whole nother level mentally, spiritually, and physically. And that's when I started improving. And then the amount of respect you get, even competing against the Baylors, the A&Ms, the Kentuckys, stuff like that. Some of these cats I don't even know, but your aura, and, you know, people can sense that leadership in you. They can sense that dog in you. They can sense that genuineness in you. And it's very, very humbling, man. And just the fact that you get that respect, and you're fast enough or you're strong enough or whatever to compete at whatever level that you're at, that's a big blessing, man. And you have to take that. You have to harness it. And, man, through the grace of God, bro, you just harness it and you keep pushing through it to the end. And that's one thing football, especially track, has taught me. Anything that you do, you go all out and you push it to the end. Every day might not be your best day. Every day you might wake up and feel sluggish, man. One day you might have a PR, you know, or you might have a breakout game. The next game, you got sacked 6 times, or, you know, now you feeling sick. I mean, sometimes this stuff happens. But vision will help you get through adversity, man. You know, basically, if you don't have vision, man, the people will also perish. Because if you're a leader, how can people trust to listen to you? Or how can they, you know, abide by your leadership? These are all things that come with vision, man. So another quick story too. When I was getting recruited by, you know, Michigan, Miami, just talking to coaches, man, UTSA, Texas Tech, TCU, Oklahoma, Alabama, you know, Oregon, Northwestern State, Yale, Harvard, Texas State, Iowa. See what I'm saying? Even, I remember my freshman year, Coach Brandy, shout out to Coach Brandy, man. Brandy Cross actually ran a 51 or 50 point in high school. She used to be a pro. I need them Saucony Spikes back too, man. I love them, man. I need some more pairs, man. But one thing that she told me my freshman year, you know, she's told me always run my race, always do what works for me. And even when she was talking about the Clemson Tigers and the LSUs, because these guys would actually come to the Junior Olympics to scout. See what I'm saying? That was one of the biggest events in the United States. And once I heard that, my motivation and my vision, it expanded. Not only with sports, but off the track or off the field, man. With relationships, with music. I'm a very intuitive guy, man. I was a guy that was in the orchestra. I wanted to play instruments. I was in an honor society. I love to draw. I love to write stories. I love to do a lot of this stuff, man. And I'm a very goofy person, but I harness these things and use it to my ability. Now, I just talk a lot. And what I'm planning to do, man, if I can't impact athletes, if I can't impact, the people that I want to impact, which I already have, but if I wasn't able to do that, I still wanted to use an outlet. I still wanted to be somebody who made a difference. And one thing that I will say, man, once you obtain your goal, once you obtain whatever that you're looking for, you always have to remember where you started. Where you started is a very, very, very big thing that you have to remember. And don't ever get too big-headed, man. Because one of the biggest keys to leadership and composure, some of the greatest athletes can tell you, man, when you're able to overcome adversity, and even to those who did you wrong, and to still come back, because some of us go like, man, forget them. But at the same time, be a man about it, because you could have been somewhere worse. You could have not have got a scholarship. You could have been working at wherever. You could have been depressed your whole life. But just be humble and grateful for the opportunity, man. And instead of using that energy to be vengeful or taking revenge upon yourself, just use that energy just to say, hey, I've been through this, man. This is what it takes to get here. Now you actually have the power to create a better way for athletes or whoever, and you have the power to help uplift them, man. You don't have to go the same route that your friends went, your coaches, your family, and I'm strictly talking about positivity and success. I'm not talking about just cutting people off for no reason just because you want to feel like you're doing something. No, we're not talking about that. But vision, man. Vision is a very, very, very big thing. And no matter what you accomplish, no matter what you didn't accomplish, like rapper T.I. said, man, be grateful for the things you have, and not for the things you don't have, man. That's one of the biggest keys in being successful, man. So, listen, man, it was your boy K Camp, man. Just a quick little thought and a quick little, vent session about vision, man. Vision. Always keep that in mind, because that way you will find yourself, opening up doors for yourself. I've even gotten into boxing and everything else under the sun, man, because what you come to realize is the road doesn't stop just because, somebody says so. Don't let anybody say you can't or can do something. That's one thing Coach Tyrone used to always instill in us, man. The moment you said can't, anytime you had 25 push-ups on the spot. The whole team actually did. But the concept was never say you can't do something. And I know we're all guilty of thinking that, man. But always keep vision, bro. Always keep faith in whatever you're doing, man. Harness your craft. And in my personal opinion, man, shout out to the genuine coaches, man. Shout out to the genuine athletes who are genuinely grinding. And shout out to the inner city kids, man, who's getting it out the mud, man. Make a difference in your community, man. Be positive. Let's set a new trend, man. Set a new wave. And be a leader, man. Don't be afraid about how people gonna what somebody thinks about you or how people are gonna see you. If you can articulate it to the point to where they understand it, then you should very well walk in confidence. And do not let your emotions tame you as well, man. But with that being said, meditate on vision. It was your boy K Camp with another podcast. I'll be back with y'all later with Olympian Maurice Mitchell tomorrow, man. Maurice Mitchell was an NCAA champion at Florida State. He ran in the 2012 Olympics for the 200-meter dash, I believe. personal best 1999 and 10 flat, man. A very humble guy, very cool guy, man. But watch out for the interview. It's going to be up on my YouTube channel, Inside Texas Sports, and it's also going to be up on Anchor and hopefully Spotify. So who's ever listening to this, man, keep the vision. With that being said, I'm out.